to all of you for coming today. Although it's a weekday, but all of you are here. It shows your priority and enthusiasm to hear from Damodar Prabhu. So we are very fortunate. It's very special guest here today. So I'll give a short introduction of Damodar Prabhu. So Prabhu has he did his of course he's originally from India, from Chandigarh, and then he has lived quite a lot of part of his life in Mumbai, and he did his bachelor's and master's from Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Bombay. And for those of you who are from India, you would know how prestigious this institute is. It's very difficult to get into this institute. Like millions of people sit for exam and hardly a few hundred get an opportunity to get into that. So it's a very tough intellectual competition. So he got education from there, and then he worked in a corporate company for 2 years, and then he wanted to dedicate his life in the service of Srila Prabhupada and sharing the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Vedic wisdom throughout the world. So he has been traveling. Last couple of years he has been traveling quite a lot. So he's also the kitchen in charge of ISKCON Chowpatty temple, and they have been doing enormous amount of service for devotees and for people in general. So in big events like Kumbh Mela, when the Ram temple opened in Ayodhya, they had like prasadam distribution for thousands of devotees every day. For when the Ram Mandir was inaugurated, they were distributing for 1 month every day to thousands of pilgrims. And Kumbh Mela, millions of people visit. So he has been serving in that capacity, and also seeing the management of all this. So it shows both his selfless service attitude and his leadership qualities. So last 7 to 8 years he has been traveling, and recently he just visited so many European countries. So he visited Germany, Belgium, 7 to 8 countries, Denmark. Tomorrow he's going to Finland. And in different countries he has been giving training to the leaders of our society about care and care amongst devotees. So he has been asked by the GBC to share this expertise with the rest of the world. There's an exemplary temple in Chowpatty who have applied these principles, and as a thriving community. So today he'll be speaking about Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and he'll be speaking on the leadership qualities of Prabhupada, special emphasis on the caring aspect. So let's hear from Damodar Prabhu. Let's welcome him by chanting Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The voice is increase the treble or something. Let's see. We can manage. Huh? Yes, is good. Better than before. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, your good name? Ashok Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for leading such a soulful kirtan. Yeah, I was. Hare Krishna. So, first of all, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude for giving me this opportunity, your association this evening, and the opportunity to share something about Prabhupada and his quality of being a great leader. Especially I'll focus on his aspect of being a caring leader. And I never expected such a beautiful temple here in the basement. Right? So I thought it may be a small altar, but actually this is very power-packed altar. Mercy-packed, very amazing altar. Yes, and Gaurav, I have such very special, merciful expression.
Nitai Gaura Sundara.
Nitai Gaura Sundara. Yeah. So Nitai Gaura Sundara has such a beautiful and such a merciful expression. So I feel very blessed to be here this evening, to have their darshan and to have the association of their dear devotees. So once again, as Srila Prabhu said, it's a working day and all of you have come on this working day in such great numbers, so my deep gratitude to all of you. We will chant the invocation prayers. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sastitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Kadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Nita Shri Vishakham Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpadurubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Just a minute. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, first of all, I would like to offer my humble obeisances and deep gratitude to His Grace Tapas Prabhu. I was hearing from devotees in Copenhagen also, in Amvik also, about the glorious contribution, the dedication, the deep devotion of Tapas Prabhu, his sacrifice, how he has nourished the community. So I offer my homages, my gratitude, my humble obeisances, and I seek his blessings to begin with. So, how many of you experienced a very cold night? Maybe inside you don't feel, but when you go out sometimes, here you do experience, right? Very cold. So just imagine that if there is someone who is out and the night, especially the winters are also dark. So imagine on a very cold, dark night, it's very cold, it's very dark. What does a person needs more, the light or the warmth? Warmth. Warmth. Yes. So ignorance is like darkness, and Krishna conscious philosophy is like light. So on a dark, cold night, no one will die because it's dark. Just because it's dark, no one will die. But people may die for lack of warmth. So therefore, on a dark, cold night, more than the light, warmth is needed. Similarly, amongst the association of devotees, among the communities of devotees, the Krishna consciousness philosophy is like the light, but caring for each other is like the warmth. So therefore, the whole devotee care initiative is that we need more warmth amongst the devotees, more than the light. Of course, we don't want to remain in darkness, we want to spread the light of Krishna consciousness, the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. But in the association of devotees, we need warmth more than the light. So therefore, the whole initiative of devotee care, I have been traveling for last 7-8 years to spread the devotee care initiative and encourage the community leaders to have practical initiatives of devotee care. So that has been my main service. So therefore, I will today evening I will touch upon the subject matter of Prabhupada as a caring leader. Prabhupada as a caring leader. So of course, Prabhupada had so many qualities. He was the ocean of infinite qualities, and we can always keep hearing about him and feel inspired. But yeah, we will see now this particular aspect of Prabhupada, of him being a very caring leader. First of all, okay, any Prabhupada disciples over here? The audience here? No. Okay, fine. So, Prabhupada would write letters to his disciples at times. Writing to my dear Tapas Prabhu. So he's supposed to be writing a letter to Tapas Prabhu. And then he would say, please accept my blessings. That would be the first line after writing. After that, in most letters, he would write another very common line, which is there in all the lines. Can someone make a guess? What would that line be?
To find good health.
Yes, right. Your good name?
My name is Udara Anga Devidasi. Udara Anga.
Udar Anga. Okay, Hare Krishna. Brother Udar Anga Devi. Yes. After offering his blessing, Prabhupada would write, I hope this finds you in good health. I hope this meets you in good health. So, Prabhupada is traveling all over the world preaching that you are not the body, not the spirit soul. He's traveling all over the world. But in every letter, he writes, I hope this meets you in good health. He's concerned about the health of the devotees. Every letter. So, therefore, we see over here that how, though we are not the body, but we are in the body, and it is important to take care of the body, take care of the health. So, this shows that Prabhupada wanted the devotees to be healthy, to take care of their health. This is one small aspect of his being a caring leader. Okay, so now this is Prabhupada in the very, we are celebrating 60th year of ISKCON this 2026. Prabhupada founded ISKCON in 1966. Now this is the story of 1966, the year which Prabhupada founded ISKCON. So we are going back 60 years in time. So this is Achyutananda. He is sharing one incident. I had come by in the afternoon. So Prabhupada was in downtown 22nd Avenue. He would cook, and anyone was welcome to have lunch with Swamiji. I had come by in the afternoon and Swamiji had given me a plate of prasadam. So I was eating and the chili burned my mouth. Swamiji said, "Is it too hot?" "Yes," I said. So he brought me a tiny teacup with some milk, and then he took some rice off my plate and took a piece of banana and crushed it all up together with his fingers. There is some milk, some rice and some banana. So he kind of crushed with his finger, immediately made kind of a porridge. And then he said, "Here, eat this. It will kill the action of the chilies." Prabhupada gave him instant remedy. So if by chance your mouth is burning, you have somehow bitten upon a chili in India somewhere, like green chili we use in the Indian cuisine, you can remember Prabhupada instant remedy, some little milk, some rice and banana. Just Prabhupada crushed it together, said, "Here, have it. This will kill the action of the chilies." So Mother Yamuna, she shares one incident. So now this is this is a recollection by Yamuna Devi, one of very dear disciple, I would say, one of very dear daughter of Prabhupada. If you see Prabhupada, more than his disciples, he would consider his disciples as his sons and daughters. Other times, like grandsons and granddaughters, they were so young to him. In the 20s, Prabhupada was in the 70s, so it was like his sons and daughters or even grandsons and granddaughters. So Prabhupada had such personal love. So Yamuna, who was like a dear daughter to Prabhupada, she recalls, one day Prabhupada saw that I was sick and he examined me carefully and said, "It looks like jaundice." Prabhupada is giving his examination. Now he said, "I will take charge of your recovery." I will take charge of your recovery. Prabhupada immediately arranged. First thing he said, "You cannot sleep on the floor." Devotee was sleeping on the floor. So he arranged for a bed for her. So Prabhupada immediately arranged bed for her, telling that you can't sleep on the floor. Then he arranged special diet and proper Ayurvedic medicine. And daily he would personally see that I am taking the medicine, because the Ayurvedic medicine was very bitter. So she could skip at times, some dose or something of Ayurvedic medicine. So Prabhupada would come personally to see that she is taking the medicine. And while taking the medicine, she would make a bitter face. When you take a bitter medicine, you make a bitter face. So when I would make a bitter face while taking Ayurvedic medicine, he would smile very broadly. But then he made sure that I recover very fast. So this is the exact her recount from his book Yamuna, written by Her Grace Deenatarini. She has written this book Yamuna. Very beautiful book. So in this way we see that how Prabhupada was very extremely personal, extremely caring leader. Not just that, now there is another beautiful incident. of Prabhupada conducting the marriages. And often Prabhupada would say, now he conducted the marriages of his disciples personally, and he would say that actually, traditionally, none of the sannyasis would get involved in the marriages. And Prabhupada would say, if my god brothers hears that I am conducting marriages, they will criticize me. They will criticize me. Now, but Prabhupada conducted the marriage personally. Not just he conducted the marriage personally, the first marriage which he conducted, that of Mukunda and Janki, Hare Krishna. Thank you. I take warm water in between. So, the first marriage which Prabhupada conducted was that of Mukunda and Janki. Prabhupada himself as a sannyasi cooked the marriage feast. Then he told, he arranged a bright red sari for Janki. And he said, in India the brides, they dress in this bright red sari. Prabhupada, you should wear the sari, but she didn't know how to wear sari. Prabhupada personally helped her to wear the sari. Just imagine. Prabhupada personally helped her to wear the sari. And then, not just that, Prabhupada also told her, now you should decorate your hair with flowers. And she didn't know how to do that. And Prabhupada again personally put flowers in her braids. Just imagine. So, how much love Prabhupada had for his daughter. Actually, right? It's not just a disciple. So and then she recalled that how then Prabhupada, he personally helped Janki wear the sari, dress, put hairs in her hair, put flowers in her hair, and then he tore off a piece of his own dhoti, wrapped it as a shawl around Mukunda, and then after the ceremony he tied that piece of shawl to Janki's sari. Just like you tie the knot in India especially. So he tied the knot, tied the end of the Janki sari to the shawl which Prabhupada himself gave to Mukunda. And then he said, now they have to remain together. And this is again a devotee named Chuck. He recalls the feast which Prabhupada had cooked during this marriage. So please hear the description of the feast. It's quite an interesting description. The feast the Swami had prepared was awe-inspiring. Spicy rice with chunks of homemade cheese and red peppers, sweet and sour dahi, richly spiced chickpea stew, curried potatoes with peas and eggplant, dumplings in yogurt sauce sprinkled with coriander leaves and freshly ground spices, whole wheat fried flat breads, deep fried cauliflower fritters, flaky potato pastries, chunky tomato chutney, spongy paneer globes, that are rasgulla. The spongy paneer globes. Floating, now these rasgullas were not floating in, the water syrup. They were floating in sauce of condensed milk.
Horrible.
Rasamalai, yes, this is rasamalai. Then squares of milk fudge. We sat with our guests in rows on the floor of his apartment, amazed as dish after dish emerged from the kitchen. several of our macrobiotic guests threw caution to the wind. They were macrobiotic, so they threw caution to the wind and abandoned themselves to the Swami's culinary delights. This stuff is too good to resist, they said. So this is like, this stuff is too good to resist. An old friend from my musical past exclaimed as the Swami appeared with a bowl of sweet condensed saffron yogurt. I had to agree. Jan and I had never seen or tasted anything like this before, and we felt immensely grateful to the Swami for going through so much trouble for us. Just see, how every event, like cooking the marriage feast, serving the marriage feast, dressing the bride, conducting their marriage, tearing his own dhoti to put in the shawl, then tying the knot of the shawl of the groom with the bride's sari. Just this whole incident, they made them immensely grateful. So actually, this is how Prabhupada inspired the devotees with his personal love, affection and care. How he inspired the devotees. So there is another very beautiful incident. So His Holiness Kavi Chandra Swami Maharaj, he once shared, he said, actually Prabhupada could inspire because he loved every individual soul, not for what service they do, but for what they are. Not just that what they're going to do for me, but for what they are. He actually had a concern and a deep love for each individual, not for what they do, but for what they are. That means they are part and parcel of Krishna. They are trying to become devotees. And there is a beautiful example of that. The reporters would come and interview Swamiji. And after the interview, they would say, "Thank you, Swamiji," and they would wind up their cameras. But Prabhupada would want to continue to talk to them. He would want to continue to talk to them to make them understand the importance of Krishna consciousness. He was interested in the reporter more than the report. He was interested in the reporter, that reporter's individual spiritual life. And therefore everyone could feel that Prabhupada's concern for the individual person, not for what they will do, but for that particular individual as a person. As a person, he was so concerned about each individual, and everyone could feel that, and therefore he could inspire such dedication in his followers. He could inspire such dedication. Just see the example of dedication. Prabhupada was traveling with a group of devotees on a train. This is now from Amritsar to Mumbai. This is 32 hours train ride. 32 hours train ride. After 10 hours came station called New Delhi on the way. And there one Mr. Gupta, one acquaintance, one well-wisher, he came to meet Prabhupada, and at the Delhi the train stopped for good 40 minutes. There's a halt. So he came to meet. There was a meeting. He boarded the train. There was a meeting inside. And at the end of the meeting, he says, "Swamiji, if you could leave some of your disciples here, if you could send some of your disciples here, then they could start preaching here, and I will assist them. I will assist them in, I'll provide for some facilities." And Prabhupada asked Gurudas, Yamuna, and there were a few other devotees, "Can you please get down and assist this gentleman in spreading Krishna consciousness in Delhi?" Can you imagine? Like they are already having the plan and they're going with Prabhupada. It's just a halt in between. And they got down. just imagine the level of surrender they had for Prabhupada because of Prabhupada's deep love, affection and care for them. What kind of surrender he inspired. They got down in between and went with the unknown person, what is going to happen. And he had just a bare room, no furniture, no facilities. Basically, they had, it was a tremendous sacrifice to bear poverty, there were hardly any facilities for them. But they made so many sacrifices to spread Krishna consciousness back in those days. And Prabhupada got inspired because he had that genuine love and care and affection for his disciples. So now, Prabhupada, he was very visionary leader also. During his presence, he formed ISKCON and GBC to manage all the affairs of. So Prabhupada felt responsible that this mission of his spiritual master, the mission of Lord Chaitanya, should continue, and he formed the GBC and see that the GBC is functioning. But then he also formed the BBT separately in case the ISKCON is under some crisis, financial crisis, or whatever kind of crisis. The BBT, he kept a separate trust. The publishing of his book should continue. They should function in cooperation but also independent, both, so that the publishing of his book should not suffer. So he formed the BBT for that. So ISKCON is separate trust, BBT separate trust. See the vision of Prabhupada. But then he formed another trust. How many of you have heard MVT? How many of you have heard MVT? MVT, okay. Most people, this is there in Vrindavan mainly. Yeah, most people, those who go to India, Vrindavan, in the evening they go to MVT to have a pizza. Many devotees. You get one of the best pizza in the MVT restaurant. Or you go to have other continental meal or Indian thali also. So one of the very good restaurants is there in MVT. So actually the MVT is Mayapur Vrindavan Trust. Prabhupada formed this trust to care for the deities and the devotees. So that through the earning of this trust, the service to Radha Shyam Sundar, Gaurnitai and Krishna Balram and in Mayapur, to the deities in Mayapur, the deities in Vrindavan and Mayapur should go on, without any compromise basically. Prabhupada established very high standard of deity worship there. You can see when we go to Mayapur Vrindavan, there is very, very high standard of deity worship. So Prabhupada formed this trust so that the service to these deities should go on, and then he gave the vision, this trust should have guest house and restaurant for his Western disciples. We should have the best facilities. So you see that Mayapur Vrindavan Trust is one of the best place to stay and one of the best restaurants. That was Prabhupada's vision for Mayapur Vrindavan Trust. It was a trust to care for the deities and the devotees. Deities and the devotees, both. Mayapur Vrindavan Trust. So yes, so we learn from Bhagavatam a very important siddhant. A person who is only conscious of the deities, only conscious of Krishna, Bhagavatam says that person is a beginner devotee. He is described as Kanishta Adhikari, a beginner devotee. But when a person advances, that person is not just conscious of the deities but is also conscious of the devotees. That's the sign of advancement. So therefore the whole devotee care initiative is, yes, most of our devotee communities are conscious of Krishna. Krishna is very much in the center of the life of the devotees. We chant his holy name, we serve his deities. So Krishna is the center of the life of devotees. Most of our devotee communities are Krishna conscious. But now we should become devotee conscious along with Krishna conscious. That is the one of the main objectives for the devotee care initiative. That the leaders want now to see that we are also conscious of the devotees. Not just we are Krishna conscious, but we are also devotee conscious. Because to see that the devotees remain devotees. To see that the devotees remain devotees. Back in 1971, Prabhupada wrote a letter to Gaurhari, one of his disciples. So I'm just paraphrasing. This is a 1971 letter to Gaurhari. He wrote that now that so many young men are joining, that's very good. It's a sign of a sincerity. But now you should see that you must treat them so nicely that they do not go away. And then he said, new men may not behave properly at times. So you have to train them with patience. You have to be tolerant. Because we recruit, Prabhupada used to use this word, recruit. We recruit men with great difficulty. So it is your duty to see that they do not go away. Do not go away. So so the whole devotee care initiative is that we have to retain devotees. We have been making devotees, and so many devotees would come and want to and join for some time, but then where would they go? Where would they go? So we want to see that the devotees remain devotees and they can continue serving. They can continue their devotional service to the last breath of their life. That will also require a lot of creating support system for the devotees, different kind of support system for devotees, so that the devotees may continue their devotional service. Okay, so I will narrate now two concluding pastimes of Prabhupada, and then I would like to open the discussion. You could share something, or if you want to ask something. This is one of Prabhupada's disciples narrating an incident from New Vrindavan. Several times at New Vrindavan, I witnessed Srila Prabhupada, where he expressed such deep care for the devotees. In one incident, he saw one girl. She was not a famous leader. She was Supriya Devi, one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who was just doing simple services, not in a limelight. Many of the devotees have never heard her name also. In the Lilamrit, we have heard the name of great devotees who have done tremendous amount of service in leadership roles. But she was just doing some simple services, so not very well known. Just a simple Vaishnavi, not a famous leader, Supriya Devi. And Prabhupada noticed that she was feeling cold. Prabhupada was giving a talk, and Prabhupada noticed that she was feeling cold. She didn't have enough warm clothes. And then Prabhupada, at the end of his talk, Prabhupada called upon the temple president, and he very gravely spoke to the temple president. He said, she needs warm clothes. She is feeling cold. And Prabhupada noticed that she is feeling cold and she needs warm clothes. She is a humble devotee. She would not express it to you. Just the devotee has a training, not to be demanding. So therefore she is a humble devotee and she would not express it to you. She will not tell you. But you as a leader must know these things. And you must provide for the necessities of the devotees. Now Prabhupada instructed the temple president way back again in 1970s that he could note, like Prabhupada was very sensitive. Prabhupada could notice the things around him. And therefore he gave that instruction all way back in 1970s. that as a humble devotee, she would not express it to you, she may not tell you, but you should know these things. You should be observant. You should be observant. So in this way, Prabhupada, again such a beautiful pastime of him being a very caring leader. So now I am narrating another pastime. This is narrated by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So his personal receiving care from Prabhupada. And I'll conclude with this. It was February 1972. Prabhupada was doing Pandal at Chowpatty, and there were 20,000 devotees in attendance, probably 1971, something like that. There were 20,000 devotees in attendance, and the Prabhupada group of devotees traveling with Prabhupada, so there were 20,000 people of Mumbai in attendance, and the devotees were sitting on the stage. Somehow Prabhupada spotted me amongst the crowd. He was among the 20,000 that time. Richard, he was not initiated. So just sitting among the crowd, among 20,000. Somehow Prabhupada spotted, and he asked that his disciple, one of his disciples, to call me on the stage. I was feeling a bit nervous sitting on the stage, not wanting to be in the limelight. So now, as a respect, he came, sitting on the stage, but feeling very uncomfortable. Again, Prabhupada was sensitive, he noticed. He noticed that he is not feeling comfortable. Then Prabhupada looked at me and smiled. He looked at Richard and smiled, as if telling it was all right, just to comfort him. It was all right. So in this way, Prabhupada comforted him. At the end of the program, when he was leaving, I bowed down and tried to touch his feet. The custom which I had learnt in India, that time, people would bow down at the feet of the saintly people. So I bowed down at his feet, the custom which I learned in India, and the devotees around him scolded me. Don't come near to Prabhupada, don't touch his feet. Prabhupada would usually not allow the crowd of people to touch his feet. So the devotees around Prabhupada, they scolded Richard that don't come near to him, don't touch his feet. But again Prabhupada looked at me mercifully and they said, it is all right. He can touch my feet. So Prabhupada again comforted him. He became scared that probably have committed some aparadh to Prabhupada. When the devotees kind of scolded him, he backed and was very nervous. Prabhupada said, it's all right. He can touch my feet. So then Maharaj continues to narrate. I was so touched by his personal care and gesture. He had deep compassion for the soul, which he expressed through the via media of the body and the mind. You see, the love for the soul is expressed through the via media of the body and the mind. 6 months later, Prabhupada arrived with devotees in Vrindavan, and I was living there. Now, he was already there before there was ISKCON temple. Before Prabhupada brought the devotees, the first group of devotees to Vrindavan. So Radhanath Maharaj is saying, I was already living there. He is not yet initiated, he did not even commit to Prabhupada yet. Since I was very much attracted towards him, I would go to hear his classes daily. Wherever Prabhupada would be giving classes, so Richard, he would go to hear from Prabhupada. So I would go to hear his classes, but I had not committed myself as his disciple. Disciples of Prabhupada started telling me I should join their party and not stay in Vrindavan. So all the other disciples who were with him, they started preaching to him that you have to join us now and not stay in Vrindavan. However, I was not ready and I wanted to stay in Vrindavan. devotees were very much preaching to me quite aggressively. And sometimes they would chastise me that I should leave Vrindavan and travel with them and work on the projects. And it was sense gratification for him to stay in Vrindavan. Right? So preaching very heavily. And of course I had not yet become a member of ISKCON. I had not yet really accepted Prabhupada as my spiritual master, though he was very much attracted, but he had not yet committed. I was very much attracted to him as a person, his compassion and what he was giving to people, but I was not yet committed. But then when these devotees were forcefully preaching, I was becoming distressed. So it put a lot of distress in him. So I was becoming distressed because I was really feeling that almost there was a prejudice against me. Everyone was judging him to be independent. And it was his own sense gratification that he's staying in Vrindavan. But somehow his heart was in Vrindavan. So therefore everyone had that prejudice against. I was really feeling, I was becoming distressed that almost everyone there had this prejudice against me because I wasn't fitting the way others did. See, he still had long hair, right? And so on, and he was not traveling with the devotees and doing what everyone is doing. So therefore this was going on. And one day in the garden near Radha Govind's temple, Srila Prabhupada gave a talk to the residents of Vrindavan, and I came little late. So then he sat way in the back in the crowd. So he came late and Prabhupada was giving a talk. So Richard he sat way back in the crowd. And after the talk, Prabhupada was leaving. When he was leaving, all the devotees parted and they cleared an aisle between them where Prabhupada could walk through. And dozens of people were offering obeisances from both sides. Just imagine now this scene. Prabhupada is walking down the aisle. The crowd has parted. And from both sides, dozens of devotees are offering obeisance to him while he is walking. And then, way at the back, Richard also bowed down from one of the sides. And when he got up, he saw Prabhupada standing right in front of him, looking at him. Okay? And then Prabhupada looked at him and then he asked, how long you are living in Vrindavan? Okay, so Prabhupada asked him. And Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Sundar Ki Jai. Now just imagine, Prabhupada is standing right in front of him and asking the question, so, how long you are living in Vrindavan? I became very afraid. Why? Because he thought now all the devotees have told Prabhupada, kind of that I am independent, I am staying in Vrindavan and so on and so forth. And now he became afraid that Prabhupada would tell him to leave Vrindavan. He became afraid, how will he disobey Prabhupada? He already had kind of within his heart accepted Prabhupada, although not formally committed, but his commitment was growing. How would he disobey Prabhupada? That would be too difficult. But his heart was in Vrindavan. How would he leave Vrindavan? How would he disobey Prabhupada? So he became very afraid within. Prabhupada is now asking the question. So, how long are you living in Vrindavan? I became very afraid because I did not want to displease him. I was thinking maybe the devotees told him that I refused to leave Vrindavan and they were chastising me. And now perhaps he is going to chastise me. Right? So there is a lot of apprehension, a lot of fear. So in a very timid way, kind of, I said, I have been here for 6 months, Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada smiled very broadly and he patted me on my head with his merciful hand, and in a very fatherly, affectionate way, he looked into my eyes and with a beautiful oceanic smile he said, very good. He said, very good. Vrindavan is so nice. That's it. Just imagine. Prabhupada actually approved. He saw that here is one person who likes to spin Vrindavan. That's the ultimate goal. Just imagine, right? It's our ultimate aspiration to be in Vrindavan. And here is one soul who has attraction toward Vrindavan. And everyone else was discouraging him. But Prabhupada could see that he had some attraction. And Prabhupada approved by saying, very good. Vrindavan is so nice. And then, that was it. Then Maharaj says, at that moment I became ready to leave Vrindavan, if he says. He didn't say, but at that time he fully committed to Prabhupada. Seeing that he could actually, that gesture of individual personal care, approving his heart, what his heart felt for Vrindavan. At that time he finally fully committed and became ready to do anything what Prabhupada would say. Again, how Prabhupada inspired that surrender with his deep concern and care and love for each individual. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada was singing Vrindavan Melo Kirtan, so sweet. When I came, I know Vrindavan Melo to you, and then Prabhu was reminded of Vrindavan. Once again, Prabhu, your name? Ashok Krishna. Yeah. So, we started with the Vrindavan Melos, and I have concluded my talk with the pastime of Vrindavan. Prabhupada saying, Vrindavan is so nice. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much for giving me this blessed opportunity of your association in this holy month of Purushottam Adhik Maas. In this holy month, you could have this holy opportunity to discuss the glory of our founder Acharya, his deep love, care, concern for each individual devotee. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Sundar ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. If anyone, would you like to share something? Yes, Hare Krishna. Would you like to take a mic? I can pass this mic, or we have cordless? No. Okay, the second mic. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
This quality of really having love, For example, a couple who are like together in some way or another, when they start to, depart a little from each other, they start to shout to each other. Why do they shout? Because the distance between the hearts, they are broader and broader, and that's why they are shouting. But when there is the opposite, the more love is there, not just the man and woman, like Srila Prabhupada, he has such pure, intense love, for Krishna and for all his parts and parcels, and that's why he can feel what the other person is feeling, she's cold, I have to arrange for her, and at the same time, arrange. Feel it and arrange for it. That is really love, So, this is, I also felt this from Srila Prabhupada. He's so near, so dear, and so, what he has done, it is incredible. So many people who I just maybe not even met him. They feel him and they remember him and read his books and get his association. So this intense love, love for Krishna and love for his partner. This is that thing that you see in Srila Prabhupada so clearly.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
And thank you for your wonderful lecture.
My honor, my pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your heart. Something else? Yes, Mother, come up here, Devi. Take the mic, from this side. The devotee sitting far this side, they'll be able to hear you, not able to see you, but hear you more clearly. It is working?
Yes, more or less. I just switched it, turn it on. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, better,
Hare Krishna.
yes.
So Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Damodar Prabhu, for your enlivening and enlightening class and talk. And I can say to the congregation here that I was very fortunate to have taken part of the seminar which Damodar Prabhu gave in Einbeck at the weekend. And it was very helpful, and several devotees already told me also that it was really very, very helpful for the community and very eye-opening also. And I remember you spoke at this seminar, devotee care seminar, about the importance of first developing values before going to principles. So my question would be, how can we, as a community, learn to develop values or establish values in our community, to make everyone on the same, accepting the values and imbibing the values. What kind of strategic plan? Yeah. So what would you recommend to communities or and to individuals about developing different values and being aware of values? Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you for your kind appreciation for the devotee care. It's a GPC certified course for a devotee care course. It's 18 hours of workshop. It's all about whatever we need to know about devotee care in ISKCON. So it's quite a comprehensive training. Thank you for coming to Amvik to attend the training. So basically, when we talk of devotee care, the word care is a virtue of the heart and also it's a practical action, both. To give an example, Prabhupada translated the word bhakti as, in his books, how does Prabhupada translate the word bhakti as? Devotional service. Okay, thank you. More precise, he used one more word before devotional service. Make a guess.
Loving?
Yes, good. Your good name, Prabhu?
Bhakti needed.
Oh, you were there. You were there for half a day with the
I was only there half.
Yes. So, loving devotional service. Love is the virtue of the heart. Loving devotional service. So, this devotion to Krishna has to have virtue of love, but it's practical service, practical action. So, therefore, the love would not be, the devotion has to have a virtue of the heart and a practical action. That means noun and verb both are combined here in loving devotional service. Right? Bhakti is loving devotional service. So therefore, the word, when we talk of devotee care, we have a similar understanding and a similar mission for devotee care. We want to spread the virtue of being a caring person. We want the virtue of being a person who is caring, or caring person means one who is considerate towards others, one who is kind, one who is sensitive. All these are virtues of the care. Compassionate, and so on and so forth. Respectful, appreciative. These are all virtues related to care. And then we want to also not just spread the virtue, but also have this care in action, provide practical caring services, extend ourselves to support devotees in practical action. But yes, if but virtues, without virtues, any action cannot be sustained. So therefore we have principles, certain principles. Vaishnav Seva is a principle. Is principle taught by Lord Chaitanya, Vaishnav Seva. One of the 5 important limbs of bhakti also, Lord Chaitanya taught 3 cardinal principles. Jive Daya, Vaishnav Seva, na Meruchi, as we know. Right? These are 3 important principles. So these are principles. But the principles cannot be effectively applied unless we have the values which needs to be imbibed. So the principles are to be applied, but for them, before, the values are to be imbibed. And how are the values imbibed? Take an example, the child. If you give a child chocolate, the child may just want to eat it, but the parents say, no, you should first say thank you. Say thank you to Prabhu, thank you to your friend, whatever, whoever has given the chocolate. Say thank you first. So the parents remind the child to say thank you, and by repeated reminder, gradually the child develops the virtue of gratitude. So therefore virtue takes a long time to develop. And therefore I was sharing that I have grown up in Radha Gopinath community, where His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj, he has been emphasizing the Vaishnava virtues from the very beginning and highly emphasizing them in every talk, that we need to be servant of the servant. That's the most important. We should be in the mood of servant of the servant. And anyone who comes to the temple, we should feel that he is our special guest. We should welcome everyone. We should be tolerant to each other. Be very respectful. He will tell the grastas, be very respectful to the brahmacharis. Tell the brahmacharis, they are all supporting you. Be very, honor their contribution. So respect toward each other's service, respect toward each other's unique contribution. Gratitude, respect, servant of the servant, be tolerant, be humble. I would quote. In this way, he has been emphasizing these Vaishnava virtues over and over, and help us to develop them. Not just now, emphasizing is one thing, but he would exemplify it himself. Because it is very difficult, it's said, we all need a living example of philosophy. Otherwise, philosophy is not relevant. If we have no living example, and then philosophy is like impractical or irrelevant. So therefore, he would personally exemplify those virtues. So one thing is exemplify it, other thing is he would emphasize it, exemplify it, and he would, whenever he would see someone is acting as per those Vaishnava virtues, he would glorify that person, publicly appreciate. This is what we, just like someone has distributed, say, 100 Mahabhik on one particular day during a marathon, then we like to glorify that person. We appreciate achievements. Someone has done great thing, we appreciate. So and then what happens is, when we appreciate, everyone else feel encouraged. I can also, this is what is valued here in a community. If someone is doing this is appreciated and valued. Others feel encouraged. So yes, while we appreciate achievements, he would very consciously appreciate those who are demonstrating those virtues. He would appreciate them publicly and tell the stories of how these devotees are making a sacrifice to serve each other, selflessly serving in the mood of servant of the servant. He would appreciate many of the devotees who would exemplify those, and thus everyone would get a message that if we have to please him, we also should follow in the footsteps. So like that, so by repeated emphasis, by himself being example of that, and by recognizing and rewarding, this is what we call, when you appreciate, it's a reward for that person in one sense. Publicly with thousands of devotees, you appreciate someone who is a caring and kind person and in a mood of servant, then it's like recognizing and rewarding. And thus, very consciously, he has built the whole community on this foundation of Vaishnava virtues. Because if the virtues are not there, what happens is then there are so many conflicts in the community. Especially when you create projects and then devotees are working on the projects. And it's not easy to manage the projects. And then there are so many conflicts. Then one has to be always in a firefighting mode. So therefore, Sachinandan Swami shared this wisdom with me when I met him in Germany. He said, while so many leaders, they build project for the people, and which is important, projects are important, they build project for the people. That time Radhanath Swami was building people for the project. He was building people for the projects. That means building Vaishnava virtues in them, so that they can handle project. Otherwise, it will become very difficult to handle any project. If the people are not built up, do not have the Vaishnava virtue, which Prabhupada exemplified. So that has been his strategy from the very beginning. Therefore, now while we continue to maintain the project and expand preaching also parallelly, we should all focus on this important aspect of that how we are going to live by the Vaishnava virtues, and also as leaders we should consciously help the whole community imbibe with Vaishnava qualities, and that can make our communities sustainable and grow sustainably. Otherwise, conflicts, Prabhupada said, the greater the danger to ISKCON is not from outside, it's from inside. The internal conflicts actually, it's that which breaks the society, not the external forces, but internal conflicts. And therefore, if those are to be, avoided, we need to very consciously understand the importance and build community with Vaishnava virtues in a community from the very beginning. So this. Okay, Hare Krishna. So I think we'll conclude. It's quite late. So tomorrow is also working day. So what's the program next you should announce?